This is Darius Koski of the Swingin Utters, and you are listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour, your source for all hard rock, heavy metal, new metal, alternative, punk, horror punk, hardcore, rock, and all local bands, with your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather.
Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I'm your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather. And as always, I am bringing you guys awesome interviews. Today it is an honor and a huge privilege to have Mr. Darius Koski. He's the guitarist and vocalist of the mighty Swingin Utters. They have a new 9th studio album called Peace and Love. Will be released on August 31st via Fat Records. Previous album was a greatest hits album entitled Drowning in the Sea, Rising with the Sun. So we're going to be talking to him about that. So, Darius, my friend, how's it going?
It's going pretty good.
Glad to have you on.
Going good.
Glad to have you on the show, man. Talk about the Swingin Utters stuff. So, I've been a fan of you guys for a very long time, and I really love your guys' music. So, thanks for that. First off,
thank you, man. Appreciate it.
So, the lead single on the album is called Human Potential. And it stands out, of course. But what was it about this song for you guys to say this is going to be the single? And what stood out about it when creating this song for you guys?
So I had this music written, and it was basically just I've been doing this silly thing recently where I'm basically writing kind of a Ramones sort of tribute song.
Yeah.
I mean, musically, because it pretty much just sounds like a Ramones song.
Yeah.
It's like the chord progression and everything. And I just wanted to, I usually write the lyrics to my own songs and everything too, but I figured I'll just give this kind of generic riff song to Johnny to write the melody over and the lyrics over, and I don't usually do that. So I just figured something cool might come out of it. And it just ended up being kind of, a little anthemic and kind of stood up. It's kind of catchy. I mean, immediately. It's just one of those things that it turns out to be kind of a no-brainer when you're in the studio, that there's always, 2 or 3 songs that are definitely like, well, this is probably going to be the first song on the record or something like that. You know what I mean? Or the second or something like that. Or it just kind of stood out as being something that would probably be the first or second single, What's
impressed you the most about making the new album, Peace and Love? What's caught your eye about, if anything, possibly, Darius?
I think that we've kind of pulled off making it sound different than the last one again, which is always our goal. So I think it's pretty unique in its own right. And we have 2 new players that haven't been on any Swingin Utters records before. And they definitely have their own way of playing that is totally unique and different than, our last drummer or bass player. We have a new rhythm section, basically. So that definitely stands out. As far as the songwriting goes, I think that there's some good shit on there. I mean, I don't think I really went crazy writing that differently, but Johnny did. I think his songs are pretty unique to his. He wrote a lot of basically his songs for the most part. He wrote the music too as well, and he usually gets help with the music and the melodies and stuff. But this was all him. I mean, there was production involved when we went in the studio, but other than that, musically, he showed us riffs on guitars and stuff like, I wanted to do this, and that was kind of cool. It usually doesn't work like that, so he usually gets with me or Jock or somebody when he's doing his songs. So that was kind of unique.
I know you guys have been around for a long time, but I mean, adding these 2 new members, have they just pretty much added some more oomph to the band from what was possibly missing, maybe?
I mean, we've kind of always had good bass players, but he's got a different way of playing. He's really melodic, and I don't know, he does a lot of high stuff and lots of notes, and he just tasteful, good kind of melodic playing. And the drummer is he's just a monster. He's crazy good. He's really, really good. They're both quite a bit younger than us. They're like early mid-30s, and they kind of grew up together, I guess. I mean, they're basically best friends, and they've been in a bunch of bands together, so that helps with the rhythm section. And
it's cool bringing in a new spark to the band, too, adding new members like that.
Oh, absolutely. No, totally. Yeah, absolutely. And the drumming is really, the drumming and the bass, the rhythm section is just kind of pretty fantastic right now, so we're excited about it. And there is a spark, man, to people that are that much younger than you and stuff, I mean, it does add a spark, man. It really does. They're super into it.
So this album was recorded at New Tone Studios in Pittsburgh, California by Chris Dugan. He's worked with Green Day and plus Iggy Pop. That's huge names right there. How was working with him on this album? Did he push you guys and come in when he needed to, or did he just let you do your own thing?
No, he let us do our own thing, and that's pretty much how we do things in general. We've never really had a producer who really actively produced us, you know?
Yeah.
But no, he lets us do our own thing, and he sits there and records us, and he's really good at it, and he has good ideas, and he can tell when something's working or isn't. I'm not particularly interested in working with anybody else, really, because this record and the last record we did with him, and he's really good, and he's just a pro, and I mean, he's won 2 Grammys, so it's like, you know, he's that level kind of guy, you know.
Enough said.
And bands our size don't generally get to work with people like that, so it's pretty cool.
You know, it's good to work with a familiar face who knows what you guys like and knows how to set stuff
up.
Oh,
totally. Oh, yeah, absolutely. He gets it completely.
I want to ask this. I saw this where you had possibly said that this album is more politically outspoken as you guys have ever been. Let's talk about it a little bit if you don't care.
I think it is, yeah. Yeah, we're all pretty frustrated, so I think it was really hard. I think it would have been hard for us not to have been a little bit political on this record, just with what we're all feeling personally. So, yeah, there's some angry stuff on it, and yeah.
I agree. You're not the only one frustrated, my friend.
Yeah. No, it's I don't know. It's kind of just more overtly political stuff than we usually do, but it's not all like that, because I don't think we could do. It's not in us to do a fully just political record. We're not going to become a crass all of a sudden, you know. Yeah. But yeah, it is. But it's you know, there's some super angry stuff and frustrated stuff, but there's also some hope in there and some songs about hope, basically. And that's kind of where the title eventually kind of sort of came from. I was talking to Johnny about it, and I was like, fuck, man, there's a lot of angry shit on this record. And then we're all so pissed and frustrated and just disgusted that I was just kind of like, we should call this record Peace and Love. Because it's just kind of makes sense, and it's almost silly for a band like us. I mean, we're not like a hippie band or anything. So, I mean, it kind of meant more even to me to call it that, you know?
I like this from you guys, though. I like this side of the Utters coming out. I do like this. I'm like, whoa, this is
good.
Yeah. It's like, hell yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
So did it take you guys...
Have you heard the whole thing? Or
I heard a couple of them. So,
okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to spoil it for everybody. Just trust me.
Right.
If you're an Utters fan, this is well worth the money spent. Hell, all the albums are. Trust me. I'm not saying it just because Darius is on here. I've been digging the Utters since I was in grade school. So
nice.
You know? But did this, writing the political side of this on some of these songs, did it take you guys out of your comfort zone a little bit, maybe?
No, I don't think so, man. I mean, it's really hard to explain. Like, I don't mean to say something like this. Like, I'm not even really tooting my own horn. I don't know if it'll come off that way, but we don't really work super hard at the songs that we write. Mm-hmm. We basically write stuff, and whatever comes out, it generally just works for us. And I mean, it's just, you know, there's a song here and there that we'll ditch or not use or whatever, but generally how we've always done it, I mean, we come with songs and we practice them, and that becomes the record. And there's not a ton of tweaking involved, and there's not a ton of work involved as far as like, let's add this here. Wait, we got to work on this verse, man. There's something missing. We don't do stuff like that. It's just like, I mean, when I come to practice or give my songs to Johnny to learn to sing or whatever, like, they're done. Everything's done. It's a complete song. There's backups on there. There's all the lyrics and vocal melodies and everything. They're finished. So I think after all these years, we just know each other musically so well that we don't come to each other with 20-minute jazz fusion songs or anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we know what's going to work, and generally we're right. You know, there's a few casualties along the way of songs that don't work, but not a lot. Not for the amount of songs that we write. They're generally, you know, if we come with 20 songs, 18 of them are going to work at some point. We're going to release them, you know what I mean?
Any songs off this album stand out more to you on it? If possible. I know these are like picking your favorite kids and all that stuff, but are there any that stand out for you possibly, man, that you could pick?
My favorites are, I like Dubstep a lot. That's one of Johnny's. I like Louise and Her Spider a lot. That's one of Johnny's. I like Sirens, which is one I wrote with Jack. And those 3 stand out to me, but there's a lot. There's more that I like as well, but yeah. There's one that Jack sings that just kills me. It's pretty amazing. It gives me chills every time I hear it. People are going to like that one.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah, that's called HLS, that song.
How much growth musically, and I know you, like I said, you've been around for a while, but how much growth musically have you seen this band and yourself go through from album to album, including this album, plus adding the new guys? Or has it just been more of a personal growth throughout the years for all of you guys involved with this?
Yeah, I think it's been personal growth for all of us, but as a band for sure. I honestly don't. I'm almost embarrassed sometimes of our older stuff. Not every song, but some things here and there. And so I'm like, oh man, it's not good. Why is it? Oh. It is kind of like reading an old diary entry or something. It's like they're like, it's a huge part of you. But musically, just sonically, I definitely like the stuff that we've done beginning in the 2000s more than anything. I just think it's better. I just think we're getting better. So yeah, and more interesting, and we're still into it. And I think me and Johnny are at this point pretty much lifers. We're in it. So yeah, keep growing, man. Keep diversifying, and I don't know, just keep what we're doing. I think we're doing good stuff, and I think we're doing better stuff as we're getting older. So
do you see punk rock, metal rock music growing more now compared to back in the day, or do you see it hitting like a stale spot right now?
I don't think I don't know. I don't think it's particularly exciting now, but then, kind of is, because there's a lot of like garagey kind of stuff going on that's pretty good. There's a lot of the like Ty Segall, Mike Kroll that kind of stuff I like that kind of stuff, but I don't know that that's punk rock really. I love the OCs too. They're great. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's really hard to say. It's weird because the 90s were definitely the heyday, especially for our band, and it was just exploding then. Mm-hmm. But it also, I'm not going to name names, but it also birthed all these bands that I just think are just garbage, mall punk kind of crap. And a lot of those bands are still around, which I don't understand because I don't think they're good. But it's almost like it depends what you consider punk. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of those bands that were labeled punk in the 90s that weren't even remotely punk rock. Sure. And one of my friends said that I don't actually have Spotify, but he was on Spotify and he's like, oh, you guys date for like at number 4. One of our songs is at number 4 on, new punk ads on Spotify or whatever. And he said the other 3 bands weren't punk at all. So it's kind of all gotten homogenized and a little weird as far as punk rock itself goes, like that label. But as far as I can tell, it's maybe a stale point right now, but I'm not really the person to ask because I don't go out a lot and I don't listen to tons of new music, so I'm probably not the best person to ask. It'd be a better question for the young ones in our band. No. I don't listen to tons of new punk rock because generally I don't like a lot of it. I really don't. I don't think it doesn't interest me that much. Like my favorite like sort of contemporary band right now is A Giant Dog. That's the band that I love. That's kind of punk rock. Yeah. Have you heard them?
A little bit of them.
I love that band. But yeah, I need to listen to more stuff for sure. But I do like a lot of the garagey kind of stuff.
Do you do anything differently during the writing and recording process to to help keep your mind open and fresh to new stuff, or and not go down a path that won't go back down before, or don't do anything differently at all?
No, I don't think I really actively do anything differently, but I think it really helps. The song's going to be the song. I write the song's done. We're going to go in the studio. So a lot of as far as the kind of production aspect of it, what tones we're going to use, tempos, this and that, it's really good to have people around you who are definitely coming from a different place. You know what I mean? Like Jack's coming from a different place. The new guys, Tony and Luke and Johnny, it's 4 different heads. They're all they've got some input and they've got ideas. So obviously that's what makes a band. But it's just having those people around and invested in what you're doing and interested in it is huge. But I don't really necessarily go about anything differently now.
What can fans expect at a show from the mighty Swingin Utters who have not got to see you guys live as of yet, and shame on you who haven't?
Not a lot of stage banter. But we go for it and we give it to you. And we play a lot of old shit, and everybody wants to hear old stuff. We're always going to play old stuff, and we're always going to play new stuff too. So we please everybody with playing the old stuff, and we just make them sit through new stuff too. Because I'm not going to keep releasing records and not playing them live. That just doesn't make sense to me. But we don't go overboard. We do like 3 or 4 max a night of new songs.
I know we're in a digital era of recording albums and things like that, but do you like this that we're in of the digital era of recording albums to get music out quicker, and plus social media to reach out to more fans, or people that have not got to hear you guys possibly? Do you like this that we're in?
Yeah, I think it's really great in that sense, but I also miss the old days too. I miss touring with, when your office would be a payphone. We didn't have cell phones. We didn't have the internet. There was none of that. And I love it. And I also kind of hate it. Mm-hmm. There's days where I'm like, man, fuck this. I'm moving to fucking Alaska and I'm not going to have a computer. You know what I mean?
Go to the hills.
But yeah, obviously I haven't done that, but, for networking and get your name out there, everything it's amazing. There's like Kickstarter and stuff where people are getting thousands of dollars and they make records that wouldn't have happened in the past. Doing stuff. I have Pro Tools in my basement. You can make records in your house that sound amazing.
Yeah.
So all that is great. Totally. It's not, I don't think it's bad. I think it's good in general. And as far as like analog and digital recording, tape is pretty much dead at this point, but I can't tell the difference, man. I really can't. It depends the way you record it. And if you do it on like in the 90s when they were compressing the hell out of music and just really overproducing stuff and making it really loud, it's obviously kind of digital sounding, but I think it's who you have making your record, engineering and mixing your record. There's still people who argue that analog tape sounds better than digital recording, but I think most of those people are full of shit. I don't think they can hear the difference, because I can't. I think it's just nostalgia, you know what I mean? Which I understand, because I'm pretty nostalgic about that kind of stuff too.
I like both,
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, I do too.
And it's like you said, I agree with you. You can listen to the old 2-inch tape version of recordings, and so it sounds really muffled.
Yeah. It depends who you have, right? Who you have recording it.
Yeah.
And honestly, also, I always go back to this. I obviously want all my records to sound great and everything, but man, some of my favorite records sound like shit.
Yep.
A lot of those Clash records, they don't sound that great. The first one especially does not sound that good. Early Bad Brains records sound awful. They're horrible sounding. It doesn't mean anything if the music is great. You know what I mean? Some of the old 50s, 60s stuff, it doesn't sound very good. The recording quality is not that great. A lot of the old blues stuff, you can barely fucking hear what's going on, and it's amazing, right?
Yeah.
It's all soul, man. It's what's there. You hear that recording that Aretha Franklin made when she was 14 in that gospel church?
No, I have not yet. No.
Oh my God, man. That's not a good recording, right? The person singing with a piano backing her in a church. And oh my God, I was playing it for everybody in my house yesterday because it was just mind blowing. Just 14 years old in a church singing. And it was unbelievable. It's all about soul, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and
does it really matter how your record sounds? I don't know.
I want to give a big condolences out to Aretha Franklin right now, because to me, she paved the way for the female musicians for Motown, and for the female musicians for soul and R&B.
She was amazing.
You damn right she was. Her voice, her singing was just phenomenal.
Yeah. Yeah, you should look for that. It's online somewhere, I think.
I will. I'll check that out.
That recording is it's really like you're gonna want to cry. It's so like emotional. It's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, every interview I've done here in the past day or so, I've gave condolences out to her because she deserves all the respect that she should get for it.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, so
yeah, she was amazing.
So, in your own opinion, man, and I know you guys are not reinventing the wheel or anything, but what does Swingin Utters bring to the table for music that's not out there possibly as of right now? In your own opinion, maybe.
I just think that we bend the genre a little bit more than most people do. I think I know we're always going to be known as a punk band, but I think that we're actually a little bit harder to describe than that. And we're really lumped into that punk thing, and you're pigeonholed immediately if you're a punk band, which I get. But I don't think we could be described as simply as that. I mean, we have punk rock in our music. We have like pop sounding stuff, like 60s pop sounding stuff. We have just straight up country and rockabilly sounding stuff. We have a lot of weird instrumentation, and I don't know. I'm totally proud of that. I think that stylistically, I really don't think there's bands doing what we're doing. I really don't, stylistically. And I don't know. I'm totally proud of that. And I know that we're just a punk band, but I've always thought that we were more than that, and I'm proud of that. So. And
you should be, because you guys could fit in anything. You know, that's what I like about the Utters music. It's not just limited to one foundation of music, and I hate that when people say like,
exactly.
Oh, they're just punk. No, they're not. They're ska a little bit. They're hard rock countries, I should say. They're, like you said, doo-wop, the old school style stuff like that. They've got that in here. You've got a flavor of music in this band. So fuck them.
Absolutely.
Fuck them. Do what you want.
Exactly. That's what I say.
You know, I dig it. So, so what made you want to become a musician, Darius? What was it sparked for you that said, yeah, that's what I want to do right there?
I've just been doing it my whole life. I did. My uncle was a violin player, and he got me to start playing violin when I was 5. And I played classical music, violin, and piano until I was 17. So I mean, my whole life I played music, and it just became a second language to me. It was just a natural thing that I did. I mean, to the point where I wasn't even thinking when I stopped playing that and started playing, punk rock and rock and roll and stuff. I wasn't thinking like, I'm going to be a famous musician. I wanted to be a writer. I mean, music was just something that I did, and I was always going to do that. And then I just kind of fell into it, and it became sort of obvious that that's what I was going to do. But it was, I've just been playing my whole life. So. Any
show or a moment with Swingin Utters that you can recall that's stood out for you, possibly more, saying like, yeah, this is well worth every minute that we've spent doing this. Is there anything that stands out for you, possibly?
I'm pretty hazy memory-wise, to tell you the truth, about things, because tours just kind of meld into each other. And
well, sure.
I think of like tours and just clubs more than particular shows. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I think of the early 90s at Gilman Street. Those were amazing. The late 90s, early 2000s at the Troubadour in LA were amazing. Whenever we play Alex's Bar, that's pretty much my favorite place in the country to play. That's great. I love playing the Casbah in San Diego. There's like rooms here and there. The Cobra Lounge in Chicago. Just being able to travel. I love traveling. That's what I've always wanted to do my whole life, is travel, and we get to travel. Japan, the Japanese tour we did with NoFX in 1999 was kind of life-changing, mind-blowing tour. 2 weeks, every show amazing. Just that was insane. We did a European tour in '97 with No Use for a Name, where it was something crazy, like 43 shows in 44 days or something like that.
Good Lord.
That was probably my favorite tour we've ever done, is that No Use tour and that Japanese NoFX tour. Those two tours totally stand out. And they were hard, man. I mean, we're playing every day. It was crazy.
Holy shit, man. I'd say so.
Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. Super fun, though. I mean, we were young, too,
When
you can do that shit when you're 26.
When you're playing over in Japan, though, and you're seeing the reaction to those fans singing your music, I mean, that blows my mind for a U.S. band to go over there and see that.
Totally blew our minds. It was crazy. We need to go there again.
Support-wise, is there a country that stands out to you more or even surprises you that Swingin Utters get support from there?
Well, Japan was pretty wild. But I guess, we go to Europe most every year. I mean, we haven't done last year, but Czech Republic's pretty cool. I mean, I never really expected that we'd have good shows in Poland. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
That's cool. It's like so off the grid for us. I don't know anything about Poland. It's always cool to go to places like that are kind of, in my eyes, sort of off the grid. It's not Germany, it's not, or the UK or something like that. Like Croatia was great, and that's amazing. I mean, Croatia. I got to play Croatia. It's so cool. Yeah, I would like to go to more weird places for sure.
I'm sure you guys get this a lot, but what's it mean to you when you receive an email from a fan or prior to the shows or after the shows, they tell you that Swingin Utters music has pulled them through a bad experience or gave them the inspiration to overcome obstacles or just made them get away and relax with the everyday bullshit that we go through, Darius, and we do. What's it mean to you guys still this day?
Oh, that's everything. I mean, that's, that blows me away. It means a lot to us. I mean, when all said and done, we're doing this for us. I write music and I play music for myself first, I think, because I have to. I'm compelled to. You know what I mean? It's like something that you do. Like some people fish. They have to fish. You know what I mean? Some people have a thing that they have to do. I have to do this or I'll go crazy, basically. But obviously, I give a shit what people think about it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be touring and making records and being in a band. And you know what I mean? So when people say stuff like that to you, it's like, wow, it's pretty powerful, I just want you to like my band. I didn't like, it blows me away when something that intense, affects somebody that intensely. It's pretty amazing. It's humbling.
I just like to say, as a fan of the Swingin Utters for a very, very long time, thank you guys for still being around, because I know how easily bands could just fade away in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah, totally.
So thank you guys so much,
Thanks,
man.
Well, thank you for sticking around.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I love H2O. I don't hear much of H2O no more.
Right.
Good stuff like that. It breaks my heart. It's like...
Yeah, it's hard, man.
It is. Very, very hard. For the folks out there who are wanting to pick up this new album, how can they do that? Tour dates, things like that. How can they do that, man?
I would go to Fat Records. You can get all the info there. There's also tour dates on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and at swinginutters.com. Yeah, but you should get all updated news and stuff at Fat Records pretty regularly.
Before I let you go, good sir, would you care to do a promo for my show?
Sure. This is Darius Koski of the Swingin Utters, and you are listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Everybody stick around. We got some great, great music coming up, and you only hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour and BODS Mayhem Radio Network. Please get out and support the Swingin Utters, pick up their old stuff, and even the new album. Give them a chance. You'll dig it. Thanks, Darius. Appreciate you, man.
Thanks, man.